Hello everyone, and this is Crota going into Game 2 in this best of, I believe, 5 series between Polt and Taeja. I don't believe I'll be able to cast everything today, so you guys will get a bonus StarCraft 2 cast for this best of 5 series if it does go to full 5 games. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at what's going down here. Taeja spotting as the red Terran player on the bottom left. Meanwhile, Polt spawning as the blue Terran player on the bottom right. Terran versus Terran, siege tank wars, ravens, banshees, what's not to like, except for the battlecruiser. Never see the battlecruiser. Perhaps one of the most unloved units in StarCraft 2, next to the carrier. I remember there was such a large outcry to keep the carrier and the battlecruiser in the game, and we haven't really seen them being used. That is a bit of a surprise, as we're already going into an early gas by both of these players. Now, this does come as a bit of a surprise to me, as both of these players perhaps have a very specific build order and a strategy in mind when it comes to each individual map. For both players to think, you know what, I want to go refinery first on a map like this, means that both of them are really wanting to go for very, very heavy tech. Now, not only is it the tech that you choose, but also how you get there. And we saw in the previous game, both players had very similar builds. Both players went for cloaked banshees with a command center, just their order was slightly different. And with that, Polt was able to come out ahead with those early mass marine kills, and that pretty much started to give him an early marine advantage, which was instrumental in many of those early fights. Coming back around, we should be seeing a factory being placed down right after this. And what is going to come down after that factory? There's the factory, both of them nearly identical. Marines now being trained up as well. Orbital command now coming into play. Are we perhaps going to see a tech lab and cloaked banshees again? With the introduction of that much cheaper cloak, things have really gone a different way, trying to open up different types of harassment, especially now that Hellbats need blue flame tech in order to really be successful. I still argue that you should combine blue flame tech with the servo reactors for Hellions. That way it's just used a bit more, as a lot of players are not using that servo reactor ability at all. Most of us see it as just an empty mineral dump into something that's really not altogether that useful. Both sides now going into starports. You can see a tech lab being placed down on one side, no tech lab on the other. And what do I make of this? Both of these players going for a 1-1-1 build, barracks in the factory into starport. Polt, however, a little bit delayed in his tech lab, and I don't think that's really going to make that much of a difference. It's just going to be the difference between lifting off and landing. That factory is going to be lifted off, and then so is this. The starport's going to lift off, the factory's going to lift off. There you go, and the landing timing is just going to be nearly identical. As you can see, cloaking already coming into play, cloaking coming into play as well. Both sides going for that cloaked banshee once more, and will Polt perhaps follow it up with a raven? There is a handful of marines here. Are we going to perhaps see, or going into a tech lab? I don't know what the tech lab is for, perhaps siege tanks, but it really does look like we are going to go into harassment banshees at this point, as a widow mine also being added as well. A widow mine can be very effective. One widow mine down here, or one widow mine off over here, catching an unsuspecting banshee before it cloaks, has a huge effect. Are we going to see any of that come into play? You can see the Widow Mine already coming down into this position here. And with this Widow Mine, if Taeja is able to shoot down that unit, that is going to be absolutely huge. Banshees are going to be passing each other right here in the center of the map. You can see that the blue Banshee was just slightly faster than the red one. Perhaps all it was the location, as the Widow Mine now going to be coming in as well. Is it going to burrow in time? The Banshee sees it. That is huge. That is absolutely huge, as the Banshee trying to get some kills here. All right, getting some kills. And it goes down. A huge hit, and Taeja Now, with the upper lead with the Cloaked Banshee, where is that Widow Mine? That Widow Mine is just in the wrong spot there. And Taeja is now looking to get a monster number of SCV kills. Alrighty, up to 10 kills and counting. 11, 12. Raven now on its way over, but too little, too late, I believe. Perhaps even an auto turret will be dropped down. But, oh, the Banshee down to 2 hit points. And it finally goes down. Worker kill count 11 to 2. You don't have to be a genius to know who won out in that fight. Or, not that I'm a genius. You don't have to be a StarCraft 2 caster to know who won out in that fight. Really, Taeja coming out ahead there. Harvester count now 26 to 20, as both of them are building up command centers. Nope, command center coming in from Polt, already upgrading to orbital command for Taeja. Alright, it looks like Taeja now transitioning into a mass bio play. You can see the reactor coming down on the starport and also reactors coming down on the factory here. We are training up some Marines, and we should see this factory lift off and land for a new barracks to just welcome it there. We are looking at Viking Raven Wars now. A bit of a surprise there. Viking Raven Wars, one of those things you don't really often see, but I believe this is the new meta game, as the Viking and the Raven are now backing off. Both players just now looking to establish their expansion sometime around the 9-minute mark. I think this orbital command just got here as well, as the Marines going into a little bit of a fight. All right. Are we going to see a little bit of a fight here? Oh, are we going to see a point defense drone? There is the point defense drone trying to get the final shot off. Yes, it does. And that is a huge, huge victory. The Raven, oh, the Raven has to be careful. It could actually get 2 for 1 here. Has to be careful. Oh, you lose your Viking. I lose my Raven. That is a huge, huge hit once more. And you got to remember, Ravens, with the cheaper Seeker missile and the fact that it doesn't need to be upgraded, is a much more potent threat. The Medevac's now looking to do a bit of a fly around here. It looks like it is this time Polt's turn to try and hold off while he is a bit behind, economically speaking. And now here we go. Oh, Marines are now dropping into play. Looks like one siege tank will get taken down. It looks like another, one siege tank down, taken down. Viking gonna get shot down there. No real way to recover from that at all, as the Marines may try and shoot down the Raven. No such luck. All right, gonna unload all of their cargo back here at the high ground. Regroup. That is one very low hit point Viking. I cannot believe that Viking is actually traveling in this group. And here we go. There's a Raven. It spots all the medevacs inside. And now we are going to go for a bit of a drop. That Viking needs to get away. There it is. Backed off. And now with a handful of Marines, even without combat shield, it is still enough to really destroy much of what's going on inside here. The Marines are still seeing that 0-0 upgrades. Engineering bay now taken out, or will be taken down. Yeah, fire now, there it goes, as the Marines are still trying to fight back here. There is another fight. The Vikings trying to get off a 1 or 2 more shots on those fleeing medevacs, as the medevacs unload all of their cargo again. This Widow Mine has only gotten 1 or 2 kills, not altogether that effective, and we may see that get another shot off here in just a moment. No, the siege tank is going to pass by with 5 seconds to spare, as the Marines medevacs now once again making another move out. 2 Marines here to try to intercept a drop. 1 Viking here to try to intercept a drop. Siege tanks and Marines. The Marines just walking up the ramp, finishing off the numbers, and it looks like that is going to be GG, especially with 1-0 upgrades going up against 0-0 upgrades. That orbital command will get taken down. Oh no, siege tank is right there. Both sides fighting it out. And it looks as though the SCVs will come in with a fairly decent surround here. No, there is still enough medevacs and Marines. Each of those Marines almost getting a medevac pilot to themselves. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed Game 2 in this series.